CJ Flyer back with the fire, another YouTube video. So there's been a lot of rumors around a particular NBA star player in the past few days, and that player happens to be none other than Paul George of the Los Angeles Clippers. He's 34 years old, and he's looking for one last giant contract to ride off into the sunset with a huge payday before he starts his 20-plus year podcasting career. So, Paul George, a lot of teams have been mentioned, in rumors, but two in particular that have been standing out recently are the Clippers and none other than the Philadelphia 76ers, who would be able to make it work financially to sign Paul George to a 4-year, $212 million deal, in addition to giving Maxey the max contract. Now, while it's possible in real life, for whatever reason, in 2K, they got all this, fancy different settings, trades, contracts, all sorts of deals here. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, even though it's possible in real life to get all three, because of the timing and the simplicity of how free agency works in the video game, it's not actually possible without doing a few workarounds, which some may consider cheating. But in order for the concept of this video to work out, in which we are trying to rebuild the 76ers, getting the trio of Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, we got to do these workarounds. So you'll see what I mean in a second as we get through here. But just before we get started, just the game plan here is to get Embiid, Maxey, Paul George. We're going to have to let go of guys like Tobias Harris. Ideally, we get either of Kelly Oubre Jr. or Buddy Hield, but there is no guarantee. And then on top of that, we're going to look to sign some of the, last year's team back on vet mins. And then outside of that, it's going to be just other players on veteran minimum deals. And then one last thing, the Sixers have their draft pick this year. They have the 16th pick in the first round in a draft where there is no general consensus on the top 10 players in this draft. So the 16th pick could actually turn out to be a very good player. So, we'll look to see if there's any offers for this pick before we really get to it, and assuming that there's not any good offers, I can't even trade it anyways. So what am I saying? All right, we're going to go into the draft, and we are going to look at who's available. Okay, so it looks like the first name coming up on this list is actually someone that I would be interested in getting for the Sixers, and that is Dalton Knecht from Tennessee. I might be a little bit biased as a Purdue fan, but watching him on Tennessee playing against Purdue in March Madness, that man was lighting it up from three. He was incredible. I could see the shooting translating well to the NBA. He was definitely hitting some tough shots at times. So yeah, this would not be a bad pickup, and he is kind of ranked right around where we're making a pick. Of course, I like Zach Edey too, but he doesn't really fit well on this team when we already have Joel Embiid, who's going to be eating up most of the minutes at center. And then outside of that, we'd probably be looking for some other forwards. I got to be honest, I'm not familiar with everyone in this year's draft, but I am familiar with some names. We got Tristan da Silva from Colorado, and then we have a few other names here as well. But again, I think our best bet is to go with Dalton here, so we're going to go ahead and draft him. And then just so everyone knows and is aware, Donovan Clingan going number 1 overall to the Atlanta Hawks. The Wizards took Cody Williams, then the Rockets took Alexander Sarr. So we're not going to sign our other picks. We're only going to sign Dalton. And then here's where things start to get a little bit tricky. So like I said, we got to do some workarounds here. And those workarounds involve us going to the team selection window here. So even though in real life the Sixers can offer more, I believe more money, if not the same amount of money as the Clippers can, in 2K, the Clippers are the ones that can offer the most money, and no one can even get close to matching it. So, in order to get around this, because again, okay, we're gonna extend the qualifying offer to Tyrese Maxey, but here we are, moratorium period, and Maxey is gonna get some offers from some other teams. And again, the way this is going to work out, it's really frustrating, but first thing we're going to do here is look at the offers that Paul George is getting. And, you know, he's not getting very many great offers, but he's got this 1-year offer from the Magic as the best deal. So like I said, in real life, the 76ers can offer Paul George a 4-year, $212 million deal. If you count up those numbers on the right, the cap hit, 44, 46, 48, 50, that does not even equal 200, let alone 212. And I can, you know, increase this number. I'm not even going to bother showing you, but basically if I max out that number, I think the highest we can get is like 206 or 207 million. So, you know, classic 2K problems. It's the most realistic sports simulation, you know, franchise mode out there that also has a gameplay aspect, but it's not perfect. Let's just call it that. So we're gonna give the offer to Paul George. We are currently, you know, the best offer on the table. And now we're going to advance. And of course, Tyrese Maxey is prepared to accept an offer from another team. In this case, it's the Toronto Raptors. We have the chance to match that deal. So we are going to do just that now. I actually tried to record this earlier. I am not going to click X because what happened was I was trying to see if we could swap out Kelly Oubre Jr. for Buddy Hield. If we could, you know, have Buddy Hield on this team instead of Kelly Oubre Jr. In hindsight, I'd say Kelly Oubre Jr. is a good player, better player to have, better fit for this team. Anyways, but, you know, I clicked on it and then I couldn't unclick. So we're not going to renounce his rights. We're going to try to sign him back. And so here we go. Paul George has agreed, in principle, to sign with the Sixers. And then Tyrese Maxey, we're going to match that offer that he's getting from Toronto. And it's no problem so far. According to 2K, no problem so far. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go back to the team selection. You're going to see why in a minute. But I'm going to go back to team selection. I don't want to keep the Clippers from having the opportunity to, you know, to get James Harden back on the team. Gosh, I couldn't figure out what I was trying to say there for a second, but yeah, there you go. So we're back here now. We're gonna skip forward another day. Again, Paul George has agreed. Tyrese Maxey. Oh wait, hold on 1 second. Actually, before I do this, I don't want to do the team selection thing yet. You're gonna see why in a second. It's pretty frustrating. Go back here again. Tyrese Maxey match. Paul George has agreed. It doesn't look like there's any problems yet, but we're going to proceed through. And actually, let's see right here. Okay, so, wow, James Harden's not getting an offer from the Clippers. Interesting. And there you go. Why this pop-up doesn't come up in the first place after simulating past day one of the moratorium period, I have no idea. Also, financially, in real life, this is possible. It's just the timing of it, because 2K is so simplistic with the timing of the free agent signings and matching, you know, offers given to restricted free agents and all that it makes it very difficult to actually do it without doing these stupid workarounds. So it says we don't have enough room under the salary cap to sign Paul George. No joke. Of course they don't. You know, they would be going into the luxury tax to be able to sign him in real life. But for whatever reason, 2K is elected to, you know, only let you sign these players in the moratorium period under the salary cap. So we got screwed over there. So what happens is we do get Maxey back on the roster. As you can see, he's right there. And then what happens is we got to do this one more time. We got to offer Paul George a contract again. Now, that's why I still have the Clippers set as one of our teams, so that it prevents the Clippers from being able to sign Paul George. Now, to play fair, you know, I think the Clippers should be allowed to get James Harden back. I think they will try to get James Harden back, even if they don't get Paul George. So we're going to do that for them, and then we're going to go back to the Sixers. We're going to negotiate the contract. Again, we're going to do 4 years, and now they're saying we can only offer that much money. Again, that's not true. In real life, they can offer more. I'm overcomplicating the explanation at this point. But at this point now, I don't want to lose the opportunity to get anyone else. So, and by anyone else, I mean Kelly Oubre Jr. So I'm actually going to take control of all the teams because we're just waiting for Paul George to say yes to us. And is he going to say yes? Come on, Paul George. There we go. It only took about 4 or 5 days. He's agreed to sign with the 76ers, and there you go. So now what we will do, and actually I think that James Harden went back to the Clippers. Yes, he did. Okay, so now everything's situated. We can go back to the team selection, and now we can proceed, you know, without any workarounds, cheats, whatever you want to call them. We can do our thing now. We can do our thing. We can negotiate a okay, actually, we can't afford Kelly Oubre Jr., but that's besides the point. We got our guys. So we're going to bring Batum back on a low deal. Also going for Covington. And yeah, this roster's basically toast. We outside of these three. Now again, in real life, they would be able to also keep Kelly Oubre Jr. Financially. It would work. Trust me on this. You know, if the Sixers end up getting a star player this offseason, they would be able to make it work. But in the world of 2K, it's just not possible. It is what it is. Let's not forget Campaign either. We want to bring Campaign back on this team as well. Okay, the player progression screen. As you can see, Joel Embiid and Paul George did drop a little bit, but Tyrese Maxey's up. He's only 23 years old, so I would expect him to go up. And then, of course, a lot of the guys that we signed to vet minimum deals, not looking so hot. We signed on Justin Holiday. We signed on Joe Ingles, who was on the Orlando Magic last season. We signed on Bertans, who's supposedly a three-point assassin, if you will. And then we also have our rookie in Dalton. We got Campaign back on the roster. We got Paul Reed back as the backup center. So overall, you know, pretty solid. And we do need to fill out, I think, a few more spots, right? I think we don't have 15 guys here. Yeah, we only have 11 players. Honestly, I'm probably just going to let the CPU take care of that. And so the CPU, they've signed on Jordan McLaughlin as well. I'm not a huge fan of that signing, actually, but it is what it is. That's what I get for letting the CPU do its thing. We got TJ Warren on this roster and Lindy Waters. So the rotation to start the season, we got Maxey at the 1, we got Lindy Waters at the 2, we got Paul George at the 3, Batum at the 4, Embiid at the 5. And, oh, I'm surprised our rookie isn't getting any playing time. Honestly, I would switch these guys, personally. Of course, as far as contract extensions go, no one is eligible at this time, to no one's surprise. We have our big 3, and we're going to see how it plays out. And I imagine if we don't make some noise in the first year or two, Paul George is going to regress significantly and put the Sixers into a tough situation with a bad player on a huge contract. But we'll see what happens. 1 month into the season, of course, it just had to happen. Paul George out for a good chunk of the regular season. Not a great start. And who's even going to go in his spot? Joe Ingles. We got Joe Ingles subbing in for Paul George. That's what happens when you get 3 guys on max deals. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. I mean, this team's not bad still. You know, we still got, you know, an MVP candidate. We still got Tyrese Maxey. It's not the end of the world, but not good hope, especially when, I mean, we're ranked 5th in the East right now. It's nothing crazy, you know, 8 wins, 6 losses. But you hate to see your guy go down. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Really? We're doing this now? We're doing this now? No, man. Oh, come on. Come on, man. You can't be serious. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. It's already tough enough to make this work out. We're getting some really goofy trade offers here. But, oh, we're still winning games. We're still winning games. At least we're still winning. Okay, we're at the end of December. Actually, I think it's Christmas Day or the day after Christmas. Paul George has healed from his injury. So we're going to rebuild the lineup here. And, Tyrese Maxey's still out. That's okay. He should be back within the week, actually. But yeah, there you go. And Embiid's tired too. But we'll see. We'll see. We're doing okay. We're hanging in there. Not great, but not bad either. At least we're winning some games. Okay, it's first week of January. Maxey is now back as well. We're getting some trade offers for him. The Nuggets looking to extend the longevity of their franchise by offering Jamal Murray for a 23-year-old Tyrese Maxey. The Cavs also trying to make some sound, some noise here. Not gonna happen. We're sticking with it. Okay, we're in February, trade deadline 2025, and currently 10th in the East. Not good. The teammate chemistry is finally starting to recover. It was pretty bad for a while, but I think everyone's finally finding their spot, their role on this team. And yeah, it's just not good looks. Not good looks at all right now. We've been losing a lot of games, partly due to injuries. And as of right now, the rookie from Tennessee is our 4th leading scorer, 15 points per game. He is shooting 45% from the field, 38% from 3. I'd say that's pretty solid for a rookie. Is there any kind of like rookie ladder standings we can look at? All right, rookie of the year races. And yeah, our rookie 3rd in that race. And also, is he the leading scorer among rookies? That would be insane. Oh my goodness, he is. Unbelievable. Well, we definitely made a good pick, that's for sure. That being said, you know, if we can get like a decent starter quality guy, we don't need all these point guards on this team, is what I'm trying to say. It's just not working out. We don't need campaign on this team. How's he been doing? I'm sure he's been doing okay. Oh my goodness, no. Oh, oh my goodness, those shooting percentages. Those are awful. Those are awful too. Okay, you need to get you guys off the team. We have enough point guards at this point. Yeah, their trade value is shot. Oh my goodness. There's no trade value. We could get Markelle Fultz, I guess, back to Philly. Yeah, look, TJ Warren's been playing bad too. I just want to see if we can package these guys together for a half-decent player. Ooh, we could get another rookie? Jamal Sheed from Houston? Actually, I'm not opposed to it. We'd also be getting a 30-year-old Chris Dunn from Providence. If y'all remember, he was considered a quality prospect back in the day. Where is he drafted again? Yeah, he was the 5th pick in the 2016 draft. He has not been playing his best basketball, but he's at least getting, you know, a steal per game, some decent stats. I guess technically Jordan McLaughlin's been getting a steal per game too, but I just like the idea of getting another rookie on this team. Is this trade legit? Is this legit? Really? This is an offer? Cameron Payne, Jordan McLaughlin, Joe Ingles to bring back Buddy Hield, who's having an outstanding season, shooting 42% from 3. And then we get this guy, undrafted rookie from UCLA. I mean, this is kind of hard to pass up. I understand Buddy Hield's going to continue to decline. He's probably, I don't want to say overpaid, but in 2K he's going to continue to decline. But we're basically giving up 3 guys that have been stinking it up on the court for us. I don't see why we wouldn't do that. And I mean, we could get a 1-year deal on Bol just for having the height on the team, but no. Well, we're going to add Buddy Hield back to this roster. And why is this trade available? What? Hold on. Okay, I have the team selection. I swear, I'm not doing anything weird here. Why is this a trade that's available? Why is the Heat offering Jaime Jaquez Jr. for this package? Is there any other, like, look at all the other offers we're getting. They're awful. They're awful. Why are they offering this? I mean, look, I am not opposed. Oh, I guess he's been having a bad season so far. He's shooting under 30% from 3, but look, I don't see why. No, look, we're making this deal 100% of the time. Okay, as much as I like Jamal Sheed, I think we're done with the trades for now. At the deadline here, this is what we managed to wrap up and put together. I think we have a much better rotation than we previously had, and we didn't really have to give up any major pieces for it, right? I mean, if we look at the trade transactions here, we gave up Lindy Waters, TJ Warren, Davis Bertans, a 2nd-round draft pick from the Denver Nuggets, Cameron Payne, Jordan McLaughlin, and Joe Ingles. All of those players in that 1 2nd-round pick, and we were able to get Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Buddy Hield, and then also an undrafted rookie and Alondas Williams, who I apologize, I'm not familiar with him. He was undrafted 3 years ago, and he's probably going to ride the bench. But yeah, we ended up improving our rotation. We have a legitimate starting lineup at this point, I think. If we go into here, yeah. I mean, we have Jaime Jaquez Jr. coming off the bench. Now, honestly, I mean, I would probably put Paul George at the 4, maybe, but I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. We got Dalton coming off the bench. Yeah, we have a good rotation now. We have a good, solid rotation. The only thing I might change is I might try to sign a decent player from free agency. Who's available? Who's available right now? Kevin Porter Jr.? No. Russell Westbrook. Look, I don't want him. Yeah, he's not going to take any money. Okay, would Josh Richardson be willing to sign a 1-year minimum deal to return to Philly? No, he would not. And surprisingly, at 38 years old, Kyle Lowry's also not willing to sign a minimum deal to come back to the hometown team. But you know what? That's just how it plays out sometimes, I guess. I'm surprised there's this many quality players available, but then again, with the 2K logic and the contracts, this is just bound to happen. We'll bring Spencer, I guess Spencer Dinwiddie? Yeah, we'll bring Spencer Dinwiddie in. That works. Why not? It's either him or Malachi Flynn. I guess Malachi Flynn, does he have potential? We can't even sign him. He wants more money. Okay, great. We're bringing Spencer Dinwiddie in on a minimum deal. He is going to be the backup point guard for this team. There you go. New rotation. We got Spencer Dinwiddie as the backup point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, his shooting percentages the last couple of years, not the best, but not the worst either. So he's fine. We'll be good. And I almost forgot about Paul Reed, who just got back from an injury, which means Dinwiddie would actually not get playing time. But who's our backup point guard then? We need someone to play point guard for 12 minutes out there. I guess we could go 10 deep, rebuild rotation, and that should just about do it. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. And of course, wouldn't you know it, Maxey gets another injury that's going to go on for several weeks. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that doesn't ruin our chances of making the playoffs. And I forgot we don't even have 14 guys on the roster. I'm going to go ahead and add them manually because I can. Okay, so we've added Kevin Love to the roster now too. Hopefully he plays well. If he doesn't, we're dropping him immediately. We also added Eric Gordon to this team, so some more veteran playoff presences on this roster, and I'm just hoping for the best. Nikola Jokic wins another MVP award. Stefan Cassell, he won Rookie of the Year, drafted by the Charlotte Hornets. Naz Reid, 6th Man of the Year. Wemby, Defensive Player of the Year. Jaden Hardy of the Mavs, Most Improved. Does that mean the Mavs traded Kyrie? Is that what happened? We'll have to check in a second here. No, Kyrie's on the Mavs because he also got Clutch Player of the Year. Coach of the Year, the Thunder, to no one's surprise, ends up getting the first seed in the West. The Cavs get the first seed in the East. And then looking at the All-NBA teams, Embiid is on the All-NBA first team. No other All-NBA team recognitions for the Philadelphia 76ers. All-Rookie first team, Dalton getting on that first team. That's nice. That is exactly what we like to see. And then if we look at the standings, those moves that we made at the trade deadline saved the season because we went from being out of the playoffs to being the 3 seed in the East behind Boston and Cleveland. So a good look all around. Making the 3 seed in the first round matchup is going to be none other than the Chicago Bulls. Who do they have? They have, oh yeah, that's right. They have Josh Giddey on the team now. And they have Tobias Harris, the former Philadelphia 76er. They also signed the former Boston Celtic Luke Cornett. And honestly, they have a few good signings here. They got their rookie, Buzelis, and who else they got? They still got Torrey Craig. So I'd say it's an all-around pretty solid roster. They still got Andre Drummond as well. Looks like they've parted ways with Vucevic, which is totally fine for them. And surprisingly, you know, they kept Zach LaVine. He's been in a lot of trade rumors recently. So anyways, getting into the stats for the season, again, I believe Dalton was, and he still is, our 4th leading scorer on this team. Jaime Jaquez Jr., it looks like his stats improved after the trade from Miami to Philly. His shooting percentages were abysmal in Miami, and they have since gotten a whole lot better. Buddy Hield, the return to Philadelphia, adding, you know, double-digit scoring as well. Paul Reed, double-digit scoring as well, even with all of those injuries. Or should I say all the injuries that he played through. He did play through all 82 games. We, of course, added Spencer Dinwiddie, Kevin Love to the roster midway through. We added Eric Gordon as well. So this roster's seen a lot of shifting around, and it hasn't resulted in any negativity. In fact, it resulted in positivity. We ended up winning games. Paul George, he's not getting 20 points per game, but he doesn't really need to, and we got 2 other guys doing just that. And 18 points per game, that's just fine. That is just fine, and there we go. Paul Reed has returned from his broken nose injury, and we are going to go into this series winning the first game at home, going up 2-0 now. 3-0. Can we get the sweep against Chicago? The rookie Dalton is out with an injury, and I don't know if that cost us the game, but we ended up losing game 4, ended up losing game 5. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's see how he's doing. Is he back from injury yet? He is not. He's still hurt. Out for another 1 to 2 weeks. And these games have been close too. Look at that. Lost by 3 points in overtime on the road against Chicago. You know those fans are just always hungry for some wins. They're always excited for their team, even in down years. The Chicago fan base is one of the strongest in the league. And we are going to go into this game 7 against them at home in Philadelphia and hoping for the best. So far, so good to start out this game. Getting a nice lead here in the 4th quarter, up by about 15 points. And it looks like Chicago is not going to be making that comeback as we win Game 7, 133 to 112. Tyrese Maxey with 33, Embiid with 24. Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 23. Where's Paul George? Paul George, we signed you that big contract and you lay down that stink egg of 3 of 10. My goodness. Okay. Next round's against the defending champion Boston Celtics. They added Emmanuel Quickley to their roster, and he's getting the starting spot over Drew Holiday. I don't think that would happen in real life. I also don't think they'd get Emmanuel Quickley in real life. I'm not sure how they did. That's pretty impressive nonetheless. They still got Peyton Pritchard. They still got all their same guys off the bench for the most part, minus a couple. They got Bronny James. They drafted Bronny James. Oh my goodness. They did exactly what Bill Simmons has joked about doing. I can't believe it. Okay, so we're going up against Bronny James and the Boston Celtics in round 2. The Celtics are going to win the first 2 games to no one's surprise. Tyrese Maxey is out with an injury now. Just please put us out of our misery. We still ended up winning game 3. I wonder if that injury happened in the middle of the game, and it looks like no, he just didn't play in game 3. Embiid had 37 points in game 3, by the way. We ended up winning this game by 2. Paul George with another 1 of 11 from 3. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Paul George? Oh my goodness. Oh, we end up winning game 4 too. How close was that one? That was not as close. So it's a tied series, best of 3 at this point. Paul Reed now has an injury. I would prefer that he plays through that. Boston wins game 5. And I imagine, yep, there you go. We're out. Out of the playoffs to no one's surprise. Ended up losing, and the finals. This is actually surprising. Cleveland going to 5 games, beating Boston? Are you serious? And then I unfortunately could see this happening in real life. The Thunder taking out the Mavs in... Okay, well, I don't see this happening with having Vucevic as their center, but I could see the Thunder, you know, after they improve their roster. They have Alex Caruso. Where is Caruso? They're supposed to have Alex Caruso. We updated the roster so that they have him. So at some point, the Thunder traded Alex Caruso for Alec Burks. I can't say that trade makes a whole lot of sense, but they did that, and they're in the finals now, so who am I to doubt them? And they won the NBA Finals, so really, who am I to doubt anything? LeBron is trying to retire. I say no way. Oh, we can't overturn it because he already said he was going to retire last season. We overturned it then. Okay, forget it. He's retiring. Batum, I'm going to overturn that. We're going to bring Batum back one more time. We're going to try to get him a championship. Justin Holiday, you can retire. That's fine. Into the 2025 NBA Draft Lottery, the Lakers have the #1 pick, so they will most likely be taking Cooper Flagg. I don't even think we have a draft pick in this draft, or at least not in the first round. And yeah, we have 1 second-round pick, so we're just going to skip right through the draft. And the Lakers did, in fact, take Cooper Flagg with the #1 overall pick. To no one's surprise, we are not going to sign our rookie. Jaime Jaquez Jr. we're going to sign to that team option. And at this point, I don't think there's a whole lot we got to think about. Jules Bernard, we're not going to keep him on. Or, I don't know, I guess we will. Why not? He's young. And at this point, yeah, we have no cap space. I'm pretty sure the guys that we can afford... Ooh, we could bring on a 37-year-old Brook Lopez. We could also get the return of TJ McConnell. That's actually not a bad pickup. If we could swing that, I would totally be for it. How old is he now, though? Hold on 1 second. He is 33 years old. We do need a backup point guard. We could get a 40-year-old Chris Paul in there, too, if we wanted to. But yeah, our team looking a little bit thin going into the offseason as far as the number of players. Obviously, we have the depth. We got Jaime Jaquez Jr., Paul Reed, Buddy Hield, Dalton Connect. We got Nicholas Batum still. And yeah, at this point, it's really just a backup point guard is our first need, and 3-and-D guys or shooters off the bench is our second need. So 100% we should be going for TJ McConnell, who's currently 33 years old, so that is a slightly big contract, but we're going to go for it nonetheless. Kevin Love and Eric Gordon, we could bring them back. How did they? I mean, Kevin Love did well for us. Eric Gordon did well for us. I think we should try to bring those guys back if we can. Okay, apparently Kevin Love's not interested in returning to Philly. I don't know what we did to make him mad. I don't know if the fans threw tomatoes at him. I know Philly fans can be a little bit rowdy sometimes. You know, I don't know if he missed a game winner at some point, but he's not coming back. So this actually might be the season, the off season that is, to trade Paul Reed. He's getting a little bit frustrated with his role. I don't really blame him. I mean, he's averaging a double-double on this team, but to be quite honest, with Embiid getting all the minutes, he's just not getting his opportunity to shine. So if he's already getting a double-double off the bench, perhaps, you know, we can get some good value in return. We could get Sadiq Bey on this team. That would not be too shabby. The rest of these offers are just not looking that good. They're just not. For someone of Paul Reed's caliber, unfortunately. For some reason, Alex Caruso was available. I don't know why he didn't get extended by the Thunder or, you know, by the team he got traded to. I believe it was the Knicks. So, yeah, not sure how he was available, but we ended up snagging him for a minimum deal. Okay, so I know we already had TJ McConnell, and we don't really need another backup point guard, but Tyrese Maxey can always fill in at the 2 because we also got Jose Alvarado on this roster. So we got 2 scrappy point guards that are good at, you know, pressuring the on-ball player, or being the on-ball defender and attacking the other team's ball handler and getting a lot of steals in the back court. So that's going to be exciting. Buddy Hield regressed a bit to, honestly, no one's surprise. Batum and Gary Payton II, he's another guy we picked up on a minimum deal. We got Garrison Matthews on a minimum deal. Again, I mentioned Alex Caruso, who's regressing like crazy. My goodness. We got him on a minimum deal. And then this is the bad luck. Embiid, Maxey, and especially Paul George. Paul George, at 35 years old, he is going down the toilet, regressing like crazy. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, Sixers fans or Paul George fans, but this is kind of how I expected to go in real life. I feel like it's going to end up being a roller coaster ride down to the bottom real fast, almost like a Carmelo Anthony fall to the bottom before retirement. I would not be surprised. It's not that Paul George is a bad player, it's just he's no longer a star player, if you will, but he's going to get signed to that really big star contract. So this is a rebuild in which we're supposed to try to win with Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George. This is probably the last year that we'll try to do that, especially with Paul George being at an 82 overall. Paul Reed, I believe, is eligible for a contract extension, and he is refusing to re-sign. And again, I do not blame him at all. Embiid, of course, we are going to re-sign without hesitation. And then outside of that, no one else is eligible. So Paul Reed, we need to look to trade him. As far as backup centers go, we don't have anyone else to fill that role. So it's kind of a gamble. Do we like Paul Reed? Does he give us the edge to win a championship this year, or do we trade him for Andre Drummond? I'm just kidding. There's other options. We could trade Paul Reed and Buddy Hield for Paul George's former teammate in Zubac. Who else we got? We got G.G. Jackson from the Memphis Grizzlies. That would be an okay pickup. Outside of that, not a whole lot. And to be honest, I like the Andre Drummond pick better because I think Andre Drummond kind of expects to be in that backup role. He's not I say he expects to be in a backup role. He's getting 27 minutes per game last season. Oh, geez. Look, you know what? I'm a big Andre Drummond guy. Paul Reed, we're not even going to have the money to spend anyways, but what we're going to try to do here is we're going to see, I don't know why we'd give them a pick. They should be giving us a pick. Come on. They should be giving us, oh my goodness. Yeah, that pick's worth way too much. Maybe that's why there's not a pick available. Can we get that pick? Oh my goodness. They have some valuable draft picks. 2027 unprotected, maybe. They have a counter. They want our 2026 unprotected. I mean, I like our chances better than the Bulls' chances personally, but then again, they did just, you know, they have a good team. It's not bad. They got a good young team minus Tobias Harris, I guess. What if we make this like a top 10 protected pick? That's not going to do anything. Nope. I mean, they have a counter, but no, I'm not giving up our all-rookie first-team guy. That's not happening, okay? Let's just take a couple of your second-round picks. Maybe just use those as trade pieces later. Does that work? No, they want to even Steven. What if we just do this 1 for 1? Oh my goodness. You don't get my pick. I don't know why I'm still showing that. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Stop fiddling around. Just make the trade go. You've got to be kidding me. You guys are the worst. The absolute worst. They're doing all these goofy whatevers. I don't know. Just make the trade happen. Stop doing these swaps, man. Why do they think they deserve picks? This should be like a 1-to-1 deal. If anything, the Bulls are getting a sweet deal here. Paul Reed's going to be a starting center. He's going to be I wouldn't say a future star, but man, he's already averaging a double-double. And Andre Drummond is in his like early to mid-30s. Look, I don't care about the second-round pick so much, but it's just the principle of it, you know? It's just the principle of it. Like, come on. Whatever. We'll just make it happen. Just get it done and over with. I'm wasting so much time talking about it. We got Andre Drummond on this team as the backup center now, which means our rotation is going to look a little bit like this. So Maxey's at the 1, but he Hields at the 2. Paul George at the 3, Batum at the 4, Embiid at the 5 off the bench. We got Drummond, Dalton, TJ McConnell, Jose Alvarado, and Gary Payton II. To be honest, we got Jaime Jaquez Jr. there too, so he'll fill out the 10th spot when he's back from his injury. At the trade deadline, and the 76ers, I kid you not, first in the Eastern Conference. I'm not sure how this is happening, guys. We've been having several injuries to Embiid and Maxey on and off. You can see some of the other role players have also been having injuries. But we're just holding tight and doing well. Even with Paul George regressing as he has, he's still averaging, oh my goodness, he's only averaging 12.8 points per game. Ooh, that is not a good look. But Jaime Jaquez Jr. stepped up. He's got a career high in points per game. Dalton is doing better than he did last season. He's shooting very well from the field, 44% from 3. This team is just firing on all cylinders, and it's looking very good right now. As far as I'm aware, no players are eligible for contract extensions, so we can just go ahead and proceed to the rest of the season. Actually, one last thing we could do. We have some draft picks. In fact, we've got 2 draft picks. We have the worst of the Clippers and Rockets, which I do not know how those teams are doing. So the Clippers are last place in the West, but we have the worst of the 2 picks in the Rockets. Well, they're not anywhere near last. They are 5th in the West right now. They could definitely fall off a little bit, potentially. But that pick's not going to be worth a whole lot. And then we have our own first-round pick. So these picks aren't going to be very valuable. I'd be curious to see if we could get another quality player or future draft pick from these. And yeah, most of these offers, they're not good. We'd probably have to add in another pick. Maybe this Clippers. No, we can't even trade that one. Apologies. Our 2029 first round pick, is that worth anything? Doesn't seem to be. Yeah, these offers are not that good. Okay, we're not even going to try. We're going to let it be. We're going to simulate the rest of the season, see how things play out. Right before the end of the regular season, Joel Embiid, left shoulder tendonitis, 6 to 8 weeks. Are we even surprised? He's regressed down to an 87 overall with an injury. We're going to let him play through it, no doubt in my mind. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even shocked anymore. Not even shocked. We're going to finish the regular season slipping from the first place in the East down to the 3rd. Luka Doncic averages a triple-double on the season and is good enough for an MVP award. Cooper Flag getting Rookie of the Year. Lonzo Ball making a comeback. I did have the injury set for him for another year, and he is finally rebounding and making his way back into the league on the Golden State Warriors, 6th man of the year. Jamal Sheed, most improved. I told y'all I wanted to get him. We didn't end up getting him, and he is starting to take off. Tyrese Maxey, clutch player of the year. It's good to see that we won an award, and the Thunder are getting the 1 seed in the West yet again. Embiid is on the All-NBA second team, and then we have no other All-NBA recognitions, no defensive team recognitions, no Rookie of the Year recognitions. Why Bronny is considered a rookie? He must have been injured his whole rookie season because he's been on the Celtics. So again, we slipped up. We were the first seed in the East, and now it's the Pacers that take that claim to fame. As we finish with 47 wins, which doesn't sound great, but there's only one team in the East that even had 50 wins. It's very competitive across the board. And as far as the West goes, of course, they're a bit top-heavy, but outside of the top 2 teams, no other teams finished with 50 wins. So, all in all, not too bad. And if we go ahead and look at the stats for this squad, once again, Tyrese Maxey and Embiid, the top 2 scorers on this team. Paul George is just regressing like crazy. He started for 81 out of the 82 games that he played, and I mean he's not a bad player by any means, but he's not the star that he once was. But he's getting paid like a star. But this rebuild is about him and the other 2 being the big 3, although I wouldn't really call it the big 3 at this point. We got Jaime Jaquez Jr., who is, improving. We got Dalton, who's improving. We got Drummond doing Drummond things. We got Buddy Hield still on this team, coming off the bench and doing his thing. So the round 1 matchup is going to be against the New York Knicks. They still have their Villanova big 3, if you will. They added Steven Adams to this roster. They got Jalen Tyson, the 25th pick of the first round from University of Cal Berkeley. They got Jalen Suggs. That's a huge pickup. PJ Washington off the bench. They got Miles McBride still. Yeah, this team's pretty good. Pretty solid team, I would say. It's going to be a hard matchup. We could very easily lose this one. So we'll see how it goes. And starting out the right way, winning game 1, and then we just lost game 2 and lost game 3. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. Typical. And okay, we made it to a game 6. We're going to sim it with Simcast. Just, fingers crossed that everything goes well, and it's not going well. It's not going well at all. Do I go into Simcast or go into the game? I asked that question. Should I go into the game? We're down by 8 with 2.5 minutes left. I'm not sure I can make miracles happen. Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm not even going to bother jumping in. We're going to get eliminated. And out in the very first round, somehow we have an even worse performance than we did last year with a better, honestly, it was a better start to the season. Shea gets the Western Conference Finals MVP there. Well, I guess at least it feels good to have lost to a team that ended up making the finals. However, the Thunder end up winning again, going to playoff. Player retirements. Man, I'm just frazzled right now with how bad this Sixers team has been doing. Covington wants to retire. Batum wants to retire. I should probably just let them retire. I think we have to let Batum retire. Covington, we're going to make him stay 1 more year. And I don't know what the league is doing. We're not approving a 45-second shot clock. That's not the direction we want to go here. I don't know what these rule changes make no sense, no logic at all. Draft lottery, we have 2 first-round picks, neither of which are in the lottery at all, so it's completely pointless. We have the 22nd and the 24th pick in this draft, and we're going to sign them both just because they at least have some value. Team options, of course, we got our 2 rookies, and we should be looking to extend Jaime Jaquez Jr. this offseason, actually. So when can I do that? I do not care to keep Jules Bernard. He didn't really play for us. And then as far as free agency goes, we have no money. So we can't get any stars, but we could get someone like Jonathan Isaac, who, how's he been playing recently? He's, he's got some defense to him at least. And we're pretty much set with depth at every position except the power forward. So it's really like, are we going to go with Jonathan Isaac? Would we go with someone like Taurean Prince, who didn't even play last season? Josh Okogie, who also didn't play last season. Matisse Thybulle, who didn't play last season. Just no one's able to get on a roster anymore. I mean, look, yeah, we're going to sign Jonathan Isaac. We're going to give him a chance because what other choice do we have? So we also brought on TJ Warren again, and then we have Malik Beasley on the team. A nice addition, if I do say so myself. So yeah, those are our other 2 free agent signings. And then, oh my regression, Paul George. He's not even an 80 overall anymore. This is borderline depressing. Tyrese Maxey's still hanging out around the same overall. Embiid, I would say he's no longer really an MVP candidate. I don't think this team's got the they don't have what it takes. I don't even know what kind of catchphrase I was thinking for there. This team does not have what it takes. I think the experiment has failed. I think any reasonable GM at this point is looking to trade some of these guys. Actually, hold up. I gotta stop this simulation because I need to try to extend Jaime Jaquez Jr. and I think I screwed it up. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. Too late. Too late, because the way this works in 2K is, yeah, he's not eligible now. So we're screwed. And now, okay, Maxey we'll extend him. No problems. Paul George. You want an extension? You want an extension. Look, Paul George, we're going to look to trade you before we look to extend you at all. Buddy Hield for the minimum. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not extend Buddy Hield for another year on the minimum, and then we're going to look to trade Paul George. I know the whole concept of this video was to try to see how the big 3 would do, but man, this guy has fallen off, and there's no offers for him in his mega contract. Oh my goodness. He has fallen off so far that no one wants him. No one wants him. This is worse than the Bradley Beal contract. I can't even believe the Mavericks would be willing to make this offer. This is something else. Josh Green not really having a great season. Cameron Johnson. I mean, look, the one guy's averaging 12, the other guy's averaging 6. Paul George is averaging 13. Last season is an 82 overall. Oh, man. Look, I mean, we really messed up. We really messed up. The whole point of this video is almost honestly just to kind of prove how bad it is. What if we tried to package Paul George and Jaime Jaquez Jr. together? Would that help anyone out? No. We're done for. This is it. The downfall of Philadelphia. The end of the process. The highs and the lows. This is it. I'm trying everything, guys. I'm trying to pair Paul George with a draft pick. No one wants him. No one wants him, and I don't blame anyone for not wanting him. Look, we're gonna package 2 first-round picks now. We're still getting the same awful offers. Honestly, the only way we get rid of him or be able to trade him away now is trade someone else of value in return. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is not that person. If we had Tyrese Maxey to the mix, this is where we finally start getting some decent offers, it looks like. But this just, no. You don't want to give up Tyrese Maxey. He's only 25 years old. This offer, I mean, Embiid's 32. He's going to be below a 90 after next season. And this almost feels like a pity offer from the Utah Jazz. I don't know why they would want to do this other than to bring fans into the arena, because this is not good. All right, just because this is a Paul George rebuild video, we're gonna ride with him to the end. We're just gonna keep it going on. Let this video be a warning to Daryl Moore. You do not want to pick up Paul George. This team is laying a big stinker, to no one's surprise. It's awful. It's the worst record in the Eastern Conference. Sorry, no, third worst record in the Eastern Conference, only by a couple games too. This team's garbage. We're at the trade deadline. I'm about ready to just trade Paul George into the sunset. Let's see what happens now that we extended him. Is his contract seen as even worse? Look, we could trade one bad contract for another. We could get Zach LaVine in here. Oh man, it's not good. Not good at all. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Surely he's got some value. Not really. Not really. There's an offer here, him and Paul George, for honestly it could be worse. It could be worse. Actually, the good thing about this trade is Zach LaVine is an expiring contract, whereas the Bulls would just be stuck with Paul George for the next 4 years because we just extended him. So this is a very Chicago Bulls-like move. Get the big names to bring people into the seats. And yes, we're giving up Malik Beasley too, but we're kind of just throwing in the towel on this season. So the goal is now going to be, we're gonna do one more season of this. It's just we don't have Paul George now. Jaime Jaquez Jr., we need to sign him back in the offseason. Hope that no one else snags him up. He's going to be like our third guy at this point, assuming he doesn't regress. We're going to have Dalton still. He is continuing to progress. And outside of that, look, I mean, we can see if there's there's no offers for Zach LaVine. To no one's surprise, we're gonna let him walk. We're gonna let him walk. We don't want him. Unless we can extend him for like the minimum, which I doubt. I guess we'll see after we simulate a little bit. Wemby wins his first MVP, and I don't think any other Sixers players are getting any awards. The Thunder, they're probably gonna three-peat at this point. And we don't have a single Sixers player on any of the All-NBA teams. Again, to really no one's surprise, we ended up finishing, where are we? We are 12th in the East, so we have a chance for a lottery pick. Fingers crossed. We're going to simulate the... Oh, wait, 1 sec before I simulate the playoffs. Let's just take a look at the situation here. No one averaged 20 points per game. It's still Embiid and Maxey as the top 2 leading scorers. We got Dalton, and then Zach LaVine is just we're gonna let him walk. Jaime Jaquez Jr. we're gonna attempt to re-sign to a huge deal in the offseason, and there's the rest of our team. The Wizards of all teams made it to the finals. They lost to the Thunder. Again, no one's really surprised, and now here comes the huge retirements. We got Durant, we got Curry. Yeah, they're gone. I'm not even going to look. We might have lost a couple guys in there, but that's okay. And I think this might have actually been the year we don't have a pick. For some reason, I thought we had a pick, but I don't think we do. Nope, we don't have a pick in the first round this year, so this was the wrong year to tank. Yeah, a couple auto-generated second-round picks. We're not going to sign those guys. Dalton, we're going to sign to the team option. Can we... I hate the timing of all of this, and you know, they don't give you any heads up or anything about extending guys. It's pretty frustrating because I want to give Dalton the rookie extension, and at a certain point I can. So we'll see when that time comes around, and then we can give Jaime Jaquez Jr. extend to him the qualifying offer. There we go. Now I can do the contract extensions. They really need like a better heads up on this. We're going to go the full 4 years, and he is going to accept. Drummond, we can extend on a minimum deal. I don't see why not. TJ McConnell, same situation. I don't see why not. Buddy Hield, same situation. I don't see why not. He can still contribute at his age. Embiid wants an extension. My goodness, no sir. No sir. I don't want to give you that much money. No. Okay, we signed Jaime Jaquez Jr. to a 4-year deal, and yeah, this team has no hope, man. I don't have any hope for this team. It's time. It's time to complete the process. We're going to be looking to trade whoever, whatever makes sense, just to get the maximum return. I think we're going to keep Tyrese Maxey. He's still doing just fine, and I'm trying to trade Embiid now because I do believe he will regress a bunch. Once we get through the free agency period. So yeah, why not trade Embiid for 2 24-year-old guys that have star potential? I don't see why we wouldn't do this. The only thing I'd like to add is some draft picks, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, and finally, not a huge significant bunch of regression from a bunch of players. This is looking pretty solid, I do say so myself. Yeah, we got Tyrese Maxey, we got Şengün, we got Jabari Smith Jr., Jaime Jaquez Jr., Dalton. Man, I was hoping he'd progress a little bit. That's kind of disappointing. He's been doing well, right? I think the last couple seasons, even this last season where the team didn't do so hot, he was outstanding, 45% from 3. He's continuing to score more and more. I just hope that's not where he's plateauing. So this is the starting lineup. It's not too bad, but I have very low expectations for this season. And as far as draft picks coming up, we have one of them, and it's Los Angeles Clippers. So we are not in control of our destiny as far as the draft positioning, so we're just going to go through with it. We're going to see if there's anyone eligible for contract extensions. There is not, so we're just going to go ahead and simulate this thing out. Okay, the team stinks, so we're just making some desperate moves now before we end this video, and yeah, that's the move we're making. We're bringing on the pairing of De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Duren, who I think is going to be a better fit center-wise, as opposed to Şengün, who's got more of a play-making distribution type of play style. We got Jaime Jaquez Jr. still, but to be honest, I'm probably going to be looking to flip him. So the starting lineups: Fox at the 1, Maxey at the 2, Jaime Jaquez Jr. at the 3, Jonathan Isaac at the 4, Jalen Duren at the 5. We got DeAndre Hunter and Dalton connect off the bench, along with Kevin Huerter and this rookie that we have. And oh yeah, I forgot, we signed Kenyon Martin Jr. back. I don't think I mentioned that yet, but he has made his return. He took 4 years off basketball, but he's back. Shea finally wins an MVP award, and that's really all there is that I'm willing to mention at this point. Thunder, oh my goodness, they got 72 wins. Tied for second for most wins in a regular season. And De'Aaron Fox, All-NBA third team on the Philadelphia 76ers. There you go. We traded for an All-NBA guy. That's my justification for that trade. We didn't make the playoffs, and as far as stats go, what do we got going on here? We got De'Aaron Fox and Maxey both getting 20 plus per game. It's nice to see Maxey finally getting back up there after falling a little bit down below that 20-point mark last season. Jalen Duren with a double-double and a block and a half per game. Dalton doing his thing. Jaime Jaquez Jr. doing his thing. And I would like to trade him, but so far the offers have not been very kind or very good. And if we go ahead and look at the standings, not so much at our position, but where are the Clippers? And they are last in the West, and we have their pick. And in fact, they are the worst team in the NBA. So this could play out very well. Shea and the Thunder trying to get that four-peat, and yeah, they're going to get it. They won 4 in a row now. I'm tired of seeing them win already. Paul George is going to retire, a Los Angeles Laker. You know what? Good for him. Congratulations. Playing for his hometown team right before he rides off into the sunset. Continuing that podcasting career of his. Come on, draft lottery. Let's get it done. Let's skip to the end. And we got the first pick overall. Very nice. I have no idea who in the world is available. I haven't looked at any of the auto-generated prospects, but let's just see. Let's see what we got. Who's the best? Lawrence Cook, a center. And he is not projected in the top pick at all. He's not projected as a #1 pick. How in the world is he ranked 10th? But we have this guy here, Jimmy Webb III, that's projected first. And this other guy, Bryant Peterson. I'm a little bit shocked, but you know what? We're just going to take the best guy available, because what else do we got to lose? He's from the University of Cincinnati, 7'2", 257 pounds. Let's see, what's his overall? What do we got? Where is this guy? Oh, he's not on here yet. We still have to sign him. He is a 79 overall, and he will most likely, well, he's not going to be starting, but he's going to be coming off the bench. He's got a couple badges already. Defensive anchor. That is what we like to see. Oh, and Jalen Duren might not even be coming back, though. He declined his player option. I totally disregarded that. Would Jalen Duren like to return to the team? It looks like he is indeed interested. I mean, he got the stats for it. He got the stats that are worthy of coming back. We don't have cap space to get anyone else. We might as well go for it. And he will sign. Okay. Okay, so we also signed a 29-year-old, 80 overall Corey Kispert to the team. So even though we don't have an MVP level candidate on the roster, still pretty solid. The rest of the team is starting to fall off, though, of course, to no one's surprise. But I'd say the top half of our roster is looking pretty decent. Wemby wins another MVP, and there's nothing else to talk about. Nothing else that I want to talk about anyways. This team stinks. This team really stinks. It's awful. In fact, what's hilarious, though, is we were so bad, but if you look at the standings, we still almost made the play-in at 31 wins and 51 losses. Look at how awful the Eastern Conference is. I mean, it's just atrocious. How can you be this bad? And there's still 2 teams with 50-plus wins. The Thunder have another incredible season. The Spurs also having a great season with 60 wins. In fact, oh my goodness, the top 6 teams in the West, all with 50 wins plus. Yeah, okay. I think we're going to call it quits. Like I said, this team stinks. They're garbage. Jaime Jaquez Jr. wants out. I want out of the process. I want out of the nightmare. The process has failed ever since Sam Hinkie was told to leave. That's it. The Sixers, they screwed it. They screwed it up. I think if they got Paul George, I don't think it would work out very well. I was thinking that before this simulation, and I'm thinking it right now after the simulation too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and click on the video on the screen now for another NBA 2K24 My NBA Rebuild video.